Hello everyone, this is my Toyota Roadster MR2, the 3rd gen Mark III, and I've decided to do a long review of the car. I purchased the car in November 2021, so it's going to be 3 years on this November. So yeah, it's been, I would say that 3 years is pretty long time, and it is probably gives me this great opportunity to do a quick review on such a beautiful day. I've just washed and waxed the car, so before it's been targeted by the friendly local seagulls or the riot, I would like to take this review out of the way. So first things first, this is not my first rear-wheel drive car. My first one was MX5, and the reason for that not to be here because it was eaten away by rust. Such a cancer. Lovely cars though, MX5. So that was my first rear-wheel drive. Amazing to drive, and I thought it used to be great until I went for a test drive in one of these. Absolutely mind blown away. What a car. I don't think it's Toyota Mark MR2, the Roadster, is one of the most undervalued car out there, in my humble opinion. The reason being, if you look for these cars in United States, you'd quickly realize that they do sell for well over 10 times more than what we pay in this side of the pond. So yeah, it's a great little car, absolutely fantastic. When it comes to the in the corners, this is where it shines. It grips the corners as if it's on rail. So yeah, I'll do a quick outside run around, just one circle, just to show you how it looks like from the side. Looks absolutely fantastic, especially from far when you see the car. It does. I mean, a lot of people don't like the shape of the car towards the back, so what I've done is I've added a spoiler, and it's been taken from Subaru. I think I'm guessing it's Impreza WRX. So this is the spoiler which has been taken away from Subaru. Great spoiler. I think it looks really nice, rather nice on our car, on the Roadster, the 3rd gen. So yeah, got it for a very nice price. Got a bargain from eBay for about 50 quid. Been recommended by my local rep. Picked it up, pre-sprayed and fitted in. I think altogether it was less than 120 pounds, and all sorted. So yeah, I'll start with the mods before I go into the details, so you can tell how it is without the mods, how the car really looks like. So from outside, I would say the first mod, one of the first mods was, I'll go on the other side, which will be easier. It's the alloys. So you could see that it's black. It was silver before, and I did not like it with grey, the sable grey, and I quite like the black alloys on our car. And also the calipers, they've been painted red. I guess the one on the back rather looks better from the angle of the sun. You can see it rather looks, in my eye, it's subjective, but I much like it. The red matches the rear light as well. So the spoiler, one modification, and the other one is the red calipers. The third one is the alloys. So that's from external. What else modification? I'm trying to think. Well, the headlights. I'll go back to I'll start doing the pros and cons later, but before I do that, I'll come back to it. The headlights is also brand new. I did purchase it Last year it was quite pricey. Straight from Toyota, it was £525. But you know, that comes with I don't know if you could tell, there is kind of like a rainbow effect. You can tell which kind of is a bit like the UV protection from the factory, which lasts a few years, and after that they start to get very foggy, and that doesn't look very nice, gets yellow. So yeah, so that's 2 modifications from outside. I don't think I've done any other modifications. Everything is very standard. Sorry, I do apologize, I forgot. It's been that long that I have forgotten. The car is very lowered. It's lowered by, I guess they call it Tine or Tien, I don't know how to say it. Tien lowering spring, and it's being lowered by 30 mil, which is not a lot. I guess it's that much probably, but it makes a huge difference. The car sits much lower and the center of gravity is a lot lower. I guess, I don't know about for MR2s, but when I was driving MX5, it was much higher for UK standards because of the road bumps and everything. I don't know about MR2s, but lower, I think it handles probably better. I don't know by how much. You know, I've not pushed this car to the limit. I know it'll be 3 years, but unless the road conditions like such as today, which is dry, absolutely dry, not a single drop of rain drop, you know, not a single drop of rain, then only then, and when the roads are quiet and safe, and on B roads, then when I try to push. So yeah, I haven't pushed it to the limit. So yeah, it's everything else is pretty standard. I'll start going into inside. From inside, let's look at the interior. The first mod I've done is this bit. So when the door opens, I like the reflective, so anyone behind me or on the side, they could say that okay, this car has been parked up at night time, and it just lights up. Another modification, small modification I've done is this bit, which is the door bushing. So what it is, the standard one is bit thinner, and this one is bit thicker, so it stops the rattle, and I think it makes the whole chassis slightly rigid. I don't know by how much, but yeah, that's you know, that's the bit I've just done. I've added it bit as well. Before I you know, I'll come back to the part for engine and where's the layout and everything, but this bit is the air vent, where the air goes right through it and goes right into the intake in the back, and you know, I'll open it a bit later. So let's have a look around inside. I'll open up the I'll open up the hood, the soft top. So you've got a one latch here, open this side. I like the noise. I like to do this. Nice spring, opens up, hold there, pull it back, and voila, you know, it's open. So, and then once it's down, you press it down in the middle, and this bit, the pull bit, it goes down and it clips in there. So yeah, in the car, that's the interior. You know, now it's much easier to see from this angle. Interior, apart from that door bushing over here and that sticker there, the other modification I've done is on the steering wheel. I have added this nice Sparko steering wheel cover, so it sits on top of the steering. So I don't like taking, you know, it's a lot of headache of taking the whole steering out and then you know, putting new steering, and also you have to declare the insurance, a lot of headache. What I've done, I've went for the easier option, put a really nice grippy steering wheel cover. Also it's a Sparko, so that's a very good brand, and you know, I trust them, very well made. You know, it's one of the first models as well I had. Interior, anything else which I've changed? Yes, I have. So this bit here, what you can see is this is the CD player, and the CD goes in. I'm old enough to know how to use the CD player. You know, no offense if you don't know how to use a CD player, but the CD goes in there. And what you could do, you can have, this is for my car, like phone holder. So you know, I'll show you how it works. So you can see that it's very nicely hidden away when I'm driving. As you can see that, you know, this is my driving position, and I can quickly have a glance and see where I have to go, and see this kind of like my maps using Google Maps, and I can keep concentrating on the road. Now the reason I don't like putting them in this corner here or in there or anywhere there, it kind of, the car, you're sitting very low, you know, it's low as it is. Anything which you put it on the windscreen, in my honest opinion, is blocking the view. And trust me, I mean, any small thing you could miss out. For example, you leave it there, someone behind there wants to cross the road, and you'll miss out because your phone is blocking the view. I don't like it. I rather keep my phone here where I can have a glance, and then, you know, I use my visual cue as well, and as well as audio cue, so I can listen, like, you know, the road direction, and yeah, I can do it, but it's a personal preference. So that's another mod. Anything else? Yes, I have actually. So you can see behind the seats, this bit is empty. Normally they do have a kind of like a casing, I would say, like a door or cupboard, I don't know what to call them, like lids, back compartment lid, I don't know. I've taken them out, very easy to take them out. There is screws here, 4 of them I think, or 6. Unscrew them, take them out, and voila, you've got so much space. Honestly, I can put a lot in both sides. It's quite a big, you know, quite a big, you know, it opens up quite a bit of space. So yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, interior wise, I'll walk you through. This is the wind deflector. I should be using it. I complain a lot about like wind noise, but yeah, this is the wind deflector. So if you're driving with your roof soft top down, this is supposed to stop the wind from getting inside the car. Makes a huge difference. But you know, what I do normally, I put my GoPro there with a suction cup, and it hangs out. So I think what I should do, I should probably put my GoPro somewhere there probably, and then take it out of there. I might have to find another way of kind of like doing it, but I haven't figured out. I'll do it one day, maybe not today. So it's a fine, fantastic Sunday. So yeah, let's go through the interior bit, and before I go to the outside, interior wise, steering, and yeah, the gear is very nice and notchy. I'll be honest, it's not as notchy as MX5, as much as I like not to admit, but credit is where credit is due. The gearing on MX5 is much notchier. You can make a difference by adding, I guess, gear bushing, which I did purchase, but I never had the time to put it because I don't know how to do it. I'm totally inept when it comes to like changing small things, but yeah, someone told me it's very easy to do. You take the whole thing out, and then you just, you know, place them, and have to declare to the insurance as well, which I have not done in a long time. So that's the gear. Handbrake is one of the biggest issues. Every MR2 owner will say that handbrake, it does fail more than likely during the MOTs, and yeah, that's one of the things that you have to, as an MR2 owner, you have to expect when it comes to the you know, the test for MOT. Then you have to expect that it may fail. You can pay, you can always upgrade, so make sure when you go for MOT, expect that to come up. So you probably take some measures, or probably if you can do it by yourself, do the test, and if you can change the cable. I don't know how to do them. I just trust my local garage to fix it for me. So far, you know, touch wood, I've not had any major issue with it. But however, if I'm parked anywhere downhill or uphill, I put my car in first gear. I don't carry a brick like old-fashioned thing used to do. I don't do that anymore. I put it in my first gear, and I just trust my car not to roll over. And yeah, fantastic interior, you know, like very spacious compared to my MX5. First thing, my wife did say that, you know, when she was in the car, like, oh wow, this car, even though from outside it looks so small, probably all same size as MX5, inside is spacious. It does feel very big. Yeah, it feels very spacious, and also the doors, they go up really high. It goes up real, and when you see me from outside, it looks like I am up. I'm kind of like, you know, I'm literally sitting on the floor. So yeah, pretty much is very, you know, nothing much to say about the interior. Steering, your indicators, your wipers, your rev meter is right in the middle, which is fantastic, right? You know when to change your gear. 7,000 rpm, shift, shift, shift. I love the long gear ratio. Now hear me out. 6-speed, right? This is a 6-speed car. You know, this is 2003 model facelift version. My MX5, I had to change the gear from 3,500 to 4,000 rpm. In this car, almost double. And honestly, I absolutely love it. MX5 is to feel very torquey, so it gives you the impression of, like, you know, it's fast, fast, fast. In, you know, in paper, this car is faster than MX5 out of the box. I think it's not to 16, 7.2 seconds, where MX5 is 8 seconds, something like that. Not by far, but I absolutely love, like, rev when it comes to, like, you know, on the B roads when you're revving, second gear to third gear, that rev, that throw, and you can have so long, you can be in the power without having to throw the gear. I absolutely love it. So yeah, the rev meter is in the middle, and your fuel gauge and your temperature and everything, EML and everything on the right hand side. Left hand side you have your speedometer. Middle, emergency light, hazard light, hot or cold, if you need, sorry, switch fan on and off, hot or cold, and what kind of you want, the settings, yeah, the CD player, and this is your the I forgot the name for it. Ouch. So yeah, I forgot the name for it. I do apologize. So that's pretty much inside. There's nothing to be seen inside. Now I'll go outside and I'll walk you through. Oh, sorry. Before I do it, I just remembered that in the wiring I do have a dash cam, which is, I've added it in there, and it's glued to the windscreen, and the wire that comes over the top of the I don't know the name, I do apologize, I don't know the name for these things. The sun visor, yeah, it is a sun visor. The sun visor, and then it goes over there. Behind that, I guess that's the airbag there, and it goes behind it. I think I can just come out of the car. I can probably show you. So it goes on the other side, and I've done it very neatly. It goes behind in there, and that wire it comes from, it goes underneath inside. I don't know if you could see in the camera. It goes behind it, it goes inside, and then it comes through this way, and then it connects to the lighter in charge. And yeah, so I use that for the dash cam, and I also have my phone chargers which also connected to it, so, you know, both me and my wife, we can charge the phone while driving. So yeah, interior wise, everything is very standard. There's nothing that is you know, I've changed. It's all kind of like box standard. So let's talk about the, you know, the front and the back. So the engine is at the back, so let's get the most interesting part, which makes this car so special, out of the way. Let's open up the engine. So that's in here, the engine boot lid. You pull that one up, and then as soon as you do it, you have that bit gets lifted up, and lift it up from here, and what you have is this thing in there, and voila, you know. So this is your back of your engine bay, you know. So I love the setting, you know, I absolutely love it. Very nice, very spacious. You can see exactly what's going on. The engine manifold, airbox, air filter inside, that's your coolant, battery, and that's another thing I've added, which is the isolator. So it if the battery, if you park for too long and if you don't want your battery to be dead, you can just 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10, I just remember this long is enough to disconnect the battery. That keeps the battery very nice. That also means that the alarm will not be go off, but it saves the battery. So if you park away for a long time, that saves the battery. The fuse box on the left hand side, and I don't know that one on the right hand side, something to do with the carburetor, I don't know, no idea. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely inept. So yeah, simple layout. It's a VVTi 1.8. The only thing about the engine, I would say that these cars are notorious for burning oil. Engine burns oil, so I religiously check the engine oil using the dipstick every weekend, and that's something that I never miss. Every time it's low, I top it up tiny bit, and you know, touch it, you know, so far I've never had anything to worry about. So yeah, that's pretty much the engine bay. Let's get this out of the way. So let's go in the front. Actually, before I go there, that air vent that I mentioned before, it's right the front. This is the air vent when all the airs that comes from front of the car is coming, you know, the aerodynamically it's coming and it's coming in inside, and from there it comes in and it kind of cools the engine down. At the same time, it also goes to the airbox and sucks in into the engine, which is, you know, it's amazing. In future I could probably get a pipe from there and then connect it inside if I ever decide to go up for a bigger engine, probably V6, or I might go for Audi TT 1.8 turbo, so, and then you can have a Garage GTX bigger turbo, much more power output. I don't need all the power, to be honest. I'll be absolutely honest. 145 or 140 brake horsepower out of the box, for me that's more than enough. You know, I don't push the car like a maniac. I don't you know, like do boy racing. I just enjoy the drive. I mean, handling wise, in the corners, these cars, they handle like absolutely on rail. So yeah, let's shut the lid down. Love the spoiler. So yeah, what makes the car so special? Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, beautiful looking, and it handles, you know, it handles so nice. And you know, it's one of those cars, it's one of the most underappreciated cars right now. I mean, up until now, I don't know how long it will stay like that, but yes, very underappreciated. Let's open up the front, and I would like to go through something that a lot of owners have very mixed opinion about when it comes to the front of the car, which something, you know, I would like to hear feedback from you guys. So open up the thing. So when you do that, it opens up in there. You'll see that there's a latch there. Where is it? Have I forgotten? I think I use my left hand, that's why. Oh god, it's there. So you press it there once and it goes up. Voila. Apologies. Took me a while to find it. I don't use my right hand, I use my left hand instinctively. So go up. Once you open up, it looks beautiful, right? The cover is there, and your the brake oil. No, sorry, is it brake oil? No, it's power steering. Yeah, power steering, and that's your windscreen wash. That's brake fluid. Yeah. So yeah, I knew I was right. Yeah, that's brake fluid. So yeah, that's there. And then once you open up, you've got this whole plastic, which gives the impression it's the engine. It's actually not. You got these two clips, unclip them, and voila, inside. Now here's the thing. It's a very divided opinion. A lot of people prefer to have the spare tire. I don't like it, and being a mid-engine rear-wheel drive, the car is already lighter on the front, and I'm making it much lighter. But when I go on motorway, I never feel the car slowly lifting up, you know, just because of the front is light. Maybe because I haven't taken this plastic bit out. And what it does, I think, don't quote me on it, and you know, don't come in my comments and say that, well, you're wrong. I think this is just my guessing. It's a wild guess. They have put this one there so the air doesn't come right back in. and create uplift. It keeps it the downforce underneath the car, I think. I don't know the science behind it, but that's my guess. Keep it exactly what it is. Taking the wheel out and it hasn't made any difference. Maybe the car feels slightly light in the front. I quite like it. It's a bit sharper, a bit more expensive in my liking. I've replaced it, I've taken away the spare wheel, and what I have instead is I do have this air compressor, which is if you have a flat tire, you can use it on the cigarette, the lighter and the power socket, and then you can use it to inflate the tire. And if you have a puncture, you can also use this Halfords tire plug kit, which is puncture kit. It says for tubeless tires. I don't think it is for tubeless tires. Sorry, apologies. It doesn't have to be tubeless, I don't think. If it's a puncture, you can probably put one of them inside and it stop the air leaking away straight away until you can get to the the nearest garage, so you can drive. If it happens, you can probably drive a few miles and then go to the service stop and then inflate your tire again. So I've replaced that one, and I also have breakdown with national breakdown insurance, so I can call the insurance as well. That's pretty much it. In the front there's nothing. This is a very small space for carrying luggage, and that's one of the pitfalls, is that a lot of people don't buy this car because it doesn't have that space, right? In the back you've got that bit of like cubby section, they call it the cubby, or the storage cupboard, or I don't know. I call it the backseat storage. Not a lot. And in the front don't have much space. But having said that, me, my wife and the cat in our family, we can fit in a week shopping from my local grocery stand, local supermarket, all in there without any issue. So yeah, I think it's one of those cases where a lot of people don't understand that you don't buy this car for going to the groceries over the weekend. You buy them, it's miles. It's miles per gallon. It's miles. It's miles per gallon. So you smile, right? You buy and you drive and drive and drive. So yeah, I'll clip it back down. That's the relay and fuse there as well. Go that one, put it in there and hold it and you slam. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything much else to say. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. Fantastic car, absolutely love it. I don't think I'll ever think of changing this car. If the underneath rust is one thing, okay, so that's something I'll cover right now, actually, the rust bit, right, compared to the MX5. So that's one thing I'll cover now. Anything else to cover? Yeah, okay, rust and subframes, that's two things I can cover right now as a long-term owner, and nothing else, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, let's show you something about the rust, why I love this car so much. Now, coming from MX5, if anyone know, even the ND apparently, behind the wheels, the arches, you see this is all plastic. You see, it's all plastic, let's go to the back. All right, let's go to the back. All this mudguard, if you see behind the mudguard, all of it is plastic, all of it completely sealed. What it does, it stops the rain, but more importantly, the salt on the road, which melts the ice during winter time. Depends if you drive. I mean, I don't commute anymore. I commute by cycle to work, but if you're commuting during wintry roads, those salt will go behind the arches and they start, salt is the biggest enemy and of the of your body, and it will start like melting, rusting. So that's another thing that you have to be worried about when it comes to other cars, MX5 and MG TF. MG, I don't know like if they have that much robust, but yeah, this car is fantastic when it comes to that. Second thing I'll say, and I would like to big shout out to Dick Sloans from Carlisle, my not too far away from where I live. he changed these rear panels for me for a very bargain. These rear panels, unlike other cars, the whole thing is not one thing. So a lot of cars, especially mine, my last car MX5, this rear panel you'll not have been separated out, right? You see this line, this is completely separated out. So if you, there's a few clips underneath and there's a few clips on this side. If you take the whole thing out, the whole thing completely comes out, and you can swap it for other car, which I've done actually. I don't know if you can see the color difference. You cannot see. I mean, it's a lovely color, by the way. You know, it's the sparkly bits comes out when you nicely wash and clean. A lot of scratches, and you know, it's an old car, 20 years old car. So yeah, back to the topic. This whole panel comes out, and when it does, you can swap it, and if you have any rust, you can easily replace the panel. So that's one thing. The other thing I would say that the rear subframe is prone to getting rust a lot, and when it does, you need to replace them if they fail in MOT. I've checked mine 2 years back, so I need to check it again underneath my car how bad it is. Actually, I'm going to put it on the ramp. My MOT is coming up. I'll see how bad it is, and I'll have to, you know, take the preventive action just to get rid of the subframe and probably replace with a better one. So yeah, that's another thing. The engine burning issue and the subframe. There's only two things in this car that can go wrong. The third thing is user error. If you're driving in the wet, please be very careful especially in the corners in these cars. You know, if the back end goes, MX5 you can catch it. This one back end goes, unless you are an experienced, seasoned truck driver, it will be very hard for you to catch the back end. Not as bad as the Mark 2 of these Roadsters, MR2s, but yeah, even on Mark 3s, if the back end starts to go, it's very, by the time you realize it's too late. So yeah, those two things are covered. Nothing else from me as a long time. By the way, this is a red edition, and the red edition was the ones that supposedly to be coming with the red seats and red interior, but I don't think mine came on that way, so I don't know. I think it was probably the special red edition. But yeah, one thing I would like to mention before I close this review is I'm still using a very budget tires. I don't know what they're called. Otima on the front, and I do have Silim, I don't know the name, sorry. Sorry, Ventus. Okay, Ventus at the back, right? Sorry. Venuster. Okay, Venuster on the back. Never heard of it. I do apologize. Two different sets, and you're not supposed to have two different sets. You're supposed to have all same make for the tires. Now, I think I mentioned from the beginning of the review, I have not pushed this car to the limit, and I would plan to take it to the track. Croft is very nearby. I know someone in the Croft, one of the instructors from the Renault Clio Trophy days, and yeah, ex-coach, so I might just take some lesson from him. And yeah, I think then I'll be pushing this car to the max. Oh, that's the pun. But back to tires, you must have a very good tire. There's a few recommendations on tires. Yokohama ADRS, ADR08, I think, and then a lot of people do recommend the Falcon, and a few others are there as well. Toyo R1, I never remember. I'm not doing the research now, but when I'm in the market of, you know, taking it to a track day and tracking it, I'll absolutely get the right tire. It makes it even better. This car, the first mod anyone should do is the tire. Now, why have I not done it? It's because I'm not pushing it to the max. You know, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it without pushing it to the limit. I still love it. You know, like a fantastic looking car. I mean, it'll be 3 years, and I still open my window and I would still, you know, see the car, and it'll put a smile on my face. You know, absolutely love it. The color is really, really, really nice. I don't know if you could tell. It's kind of like sparkly gray. You know, all sparkling. So yeah, that is the long review. I'll finish it here, you know, guys. Thank you so much if you watch it, if you have watched my review, and if you haven't been bored hearing me, and if you made it to this far in the review, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, leave a like or comments in below, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much again. And yeah, if you ever decide to buy Roadster MR2, do please you know, do please enjoy. You know, it's not the cars that I think, you know, I'll grow up, you know, I'll probably keep it until the last days of my life. I don't think I'll be changing this car anymore. If anything, I'll be putting more and more into it. So yeah, thank you so much again, and until next time, bye bye.